So y'all could only imagine the shock and awe I experienced yesterday when I go into my DMs and I find not just one, not two, not three, but a few messages stating that none other than Candace Owens was looking for me. As a matter of fact, Candace Owens had used, I guess, one of my videos in her IG story as an example of the so-called smear campaign that was being paid for probably by some Jews, right? Because everything is just the Jew. When it comes to Candace, it's basically everything is the Jew, right? The Zionist. She has different terminology she uses. But anyway, Candace is looking to give her own reward for somebody who is willing to come up with information as well as receipts for who is paying for the smear campaign. Now, I will bring up the video in question, the one that was on TikTok. It went pretty viral, like 2 million or some views on it. And I guess for some reason she believes that we're all like her. We have the same, well, allegedly, right? She believes that in order for us to call out what the hell we're seeing right in front of us, surely we must be getting paid as well, allegedly. So without further ado, let's get into this. This is the call to action itself. My girl actually came across this on her page, so shout out to her.
Has reached out, asked so-and-so to
Let's run
that somebody reached out to me, someone that I trust very much, and said, Candace, just want you to know, we're on opposite sides of this thing.
By the way, the person she trusts very much is likely herself. But
there's money behind this pro-Israel movement. Billionaires and Israeli billionaires reached out, asked so-and-so to make a video that is pro-Israel. And then an influencer reached out and said that people are being offered money to make anti-Candace and anti-Tucker videos, up to $1,000.
Now look, $1,000, that's nothing to blink at. 1,000 for a little old video, but I didn't get the offer. I feel like maybe I got left out the equation or something like that. I'm doing this shit for free. I'm telling it as it is, for free, Candy. I mean, well, technically YouTube pays and TikTok pays, but I don't know. Maybe
or
there's more
a micro influencer. That's a lot of money. This person has got to have a lot of money, whoever's behind this. And so today we did something because we're so interested is we put a bounty out, $10,000 for an influencer that got paid, a micro influencer.
Do y'all understand how many people are going to be pulling up on her, making up receipts and all types of stuff in order to get 10K? If 1,000 is nothing to blink at, 10K, her DM's about to be popping like mine were yesterday. 10K, I said, my cousin paid me to do the dance. My cousin's the one doing it. I know his address. You want to come get him right now? Come pick him up. I don't like him anyways.
Don't care if you're micro. You email tips@CandaceOwens.com and show us the concrete email of who paid you to make a video about me and Tucker and to say that we must be funded by Qatar, because that's the disinformation campaign that's happening right now. And we'll give you 10K, no questions asked. I don't care if you already made the video. We will not ever reveal your name. You can go on and live your life. Okay? Promise that.
I genuinely feel like Candace is at a place where she is so deeply narcissistic, she can't for the life of her figure out why somebody would say anything negative. She can't fathom it. I mean, if you're a part of the cult of Candace Owens, this is probably the most offensive video you have watched today. This is irking you from the inside. I believe everybody is liable for criticism, including myself. That's why I do it on a daily basis. Check myself before I rickety wreck myself. But one thing I'm not going to do is drink my own Kool-Aid to think that I'm some sort of special entity and being that's not going to be criticized, even at scale, when I'm not only wrong, but I'm spewing some of the most hateful rhetoric that is so unnecessary. Now, what I believe has happened to Candace Owens, before I get into, again, the TikTok video I actually put out, again, I believe it's, maybe in the two something million range. That's not no brag. It's just, I guess the video hit off and it resonated with a lot of people. And I will go through the comment section to show you guys where the general consensus is about Candace Owens. Candace Owens is ruining her own brand. She is destroying her own legacy in real time. And again, my belief is it's coming from one of two places. One is that she is genuinely being funded by the likes of those in Qatari. There was an article that came out and that was substantiated that, Qatari was putting a lot of money for upwards to 250 influencers or something like that. Millions of dollars that they were pumping into their pockets in order to continue to push this pro Hamas, if I may put it in no other way, this pro-terroristic messaging out there. That's something that was substantiated. Do I believe that there's money on both sides and every side? Absolutely. There's always somebody willing to pay for propaganda. I just happen to be the type of guy who you can't buy. So Candace, if you have a check for me, that's unfortunate. If I don't resonate with what you got going on, I just don't resonate, and I'm going to call it out. You have not called out Kanye West. You have not called out Andrew Tate. You have not called out what the hell is happening to Christians all across Africa, all across the Middle East within these Muslim regimes. You have not called any of that out. You don't create segments for that. You don't go nonstop about that because that's not aligned with what I hope is the actual problem here, which is that you've been radicalized. I believe you've gone down the same rabbit holes that I was going down when I was 14, 15 years old and I started chiefing on the loud pack. The zeitgeist, then I started getting into deeper and deeper conspiratorial world. And I'm a conspirator or a conspiracy theory believer as much as anybody else, right? I can fall into all these. I probably hold some right now that aren't true. And when you live in a world where so many of the things that you've been told are lies, absolutely, your brain wants to go there. But you also want to draw conclusions to things that you may not understand. The world is complex. And on top of that, it's an easy scapegoat. And there might be no bigger conspiracy than it was the Jews. And that's the one that Candace has found herself in. Let's be real. Y'all can go in all day. Y'all can cuss me out. Y'all can call me Mossad. I done heard it all. I done got more threats on my life now than I even did coming out against the Democratic plantation as a black conservative. And that was a whole lot of backlash. I've gotten more backlash, more threats on my life in the last 2 weeks. Just simply standing up for Israel and say, wait a minute, that's not the history. That's not. Wait a minute. We're supporting terrorists now. Wait a minute. When did we get here? So back to the point at hand. Candace Owens genuinely believes, maybe, she has to be so narcissistic to believe that there are people out there who are trying to pay for the smear campaign against her when she is the greatest smear job against herself. So I would suggest on one side, looking in a mirror once in a while and saying, hey, is it possible that I'm going down a very dangerous rabbit hole right now? Is it possible that I am being radicalized right now? Is it? The answer is probably yes, unless you're paid for and therefore you're paid for your opinions. That's a whole different conversation. So I'm going to leave that there. And then I'm going to get into this right here. This is the video in question. Tell me where y'all see a payment from the Jews. Here we go. Candace Owens has officially reached a new milestone in her career. I don't think she would have ever guessed back in 2018 when she still had 2 brain cells to rub together that one day she would wake up and she would find herself being in support of a regime that is the backing of some of the most terroristic organizations on the planet, including Hezbollah, Hamas, and the likes. Now, not only has Candace switched up her tune when it comes to her support of basically anything that actually aligns with their so-called Christian values, but she was officially featured on Iranian television as an example of what it looks like to support your homeland, or at least your alleged sugar daddy over there in Iran. Now, this right here is the exact news segment where Candace money, dollar signs in my eyes was featured on Iranian television right there. You can go watch the actual segment for itself, but I really just wanted to get into the context of the message. The most predictable war, plausibly ever. I'm so sick of Israel. Who would have imagined that an emphasis on Israel, as those who pretend its actions are normal or even remotely justifiable. This country has a bloodlust like no other. Have an issue with this tweet? I literally do not care. Think defending Israel's demonic actions. It's interesting. You refer to demons because I would assume that's where you went. That's where you are. That's what happened to you, possibly. Just an assumption here. I literally do not care. Think that defending Israel's demonic actions is going to guarantee you a spot in heaven, ? I would be questioning myself, by the way, if I were Qatari dollars, Owens. Double your indulgences and sign your offspring up to die for Netanyahu. All right, so I happened to come across a post that I think is even better than my own comment section for this video, as far as most of the general consensus outside of Candace Owens' own cult. And I'm calling it exactly what it is. It is a cult because these people see her as a personality, as having an opinion that is beyond truth, that is oftentimes beyond God. They claim to be Christian, but really that Bible means nothing so long as Miss Qatari does not subscribe or believe in that specific passage. Because if she really is Christian, then she would understand the relevancy of the conversation about Israel. But that being said, let's go ahead and get into this last little segment. And trust me, I will be pulling back up without a shadow of a doubt. I will be. This is not my last time. And I'm doing it all for free, Candace. Now, again, you want to pay me? You want to pay me like maybe somebody is paying you? You claim that you have donors that are willing to essentially lend to that $10,000 a piece for information. You can't afford me. There is no price on my head. Sorry, sweetheart. Now, what do we have here? Okay. Don't you love how this or da-da-da? All right. So here we go. Make this a little bigger. Oh, Candace Owens, nobody's being paid. They're doing it for free because we really don't like you. Don't you love how this, or now the original post is this. Candace Owens says she's being tipped off for the social media influencers are being paid to produce anti-Candace Owens and anti-Tucker Carlson content. She's offering $10,000 bounty for any information. It's a video I showed y'all. All right. We don't get paid, you stupid idiot. You're just trash. Have been now, those are some choice words, but this is how this woman's feeling. I'll just shove you into the Oprah box. You can rot with her. They don't need to be paid to be anti-Candace. You have lost your mind. And even if they're being paid to spread anti-you stuff, that's just a bonus for them because, like I said, you've lost your mind and you need psychiatric help. It's sad and disappointing. Here's a free tip. Judging from her tweets during the past 6 months, I don't think there is any need to pay anyone to participate in her train wreck. That's right. She's doing her own work. Anti-Candace Owens content writes itself, literally. Nobody's being paid to call her out for being an anti-American jackass. She did this herself. Facts. Wait, I could have been paid to comment on what a truly crappy human Candace Owens is. You could have, I guess. I'm still looking for who, but somebody's giving out $1,000 a pop. Let's see. Moral people think you're whack. We don't need influencers, just your word. And that's something I brought up. I did a follow-up video that's currently trending on TikTok right now, just as a response. And I might bring that up in a different video if this propaganda piece continues to persist. If Candace is continuing to put out there, they're trying to smear me, they're trying to destroy me. Candace, you've done this to yourself. But yeah, something I said in that video is you did not need help to do this. When you stop being beholden to the truth and instead you viewed your platform as something to be, I guess, something to echo your own disposition, your own hatred, maybe your own anger, to project out how you're feeling about a group of people, when you use it as that and exclusively that, without any corrective measures, when you choose to make your page a more conspiratorial page and a drama-filled page and things of that nature than it actually is, to inform and to bring us to maybe a higher level of understanding and consciousness like you once did, then yes, people are going to start to question your motives. And when you continue to do that with force, I mean, I looked you up yesterday, and the last 2 videos that were uploaded in a 24-hour span, of course, talking about Israel. Trump drops F-bomb on Israel. Huh? You're obsessed. You need help. Get out of the rabbit hole. Touch grass. Chill. It's going to be okay. You're wealthy as hell. They're not controlling your bank account. Or maybe that's why you're mad. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know what your spending habits are like. They're not controlling your millions upon millions of dollars that you have made. They have not stopped you from doing that. I'm just going to put that out there. All right. So yeah, that's who paid me. Literally nobody. Still waiting. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Now, if you'd like to stay around, make sure to click that little subscribe button down there, or you can show some love by going to the description below and clicking on the button titled Buy Me a Coffee. Leave a little something there, or click on the Cash App. Leave a little something here. Till the next time, peace.
I fell in love with the sunshine. I fell in love with the light. I fell in love with the full moon. I fell in love with the night. I can see the light again. I can see the light. You can see the life in him illuminate the night. I know the time is taking. A 3-6-5, that's a full rotation. I see you looking up, you know them constellations. Constantly gazing like house of praises, you get to praising.